Damn it, Meg, I wanted to hate this movie. Okay, so maybe my expectations going into this movie were on the same level going into a sequel for Scary Movie. A chuckle here and there, and the rest of the time I would be marveling how these mouth breathers would function in the real world. Yet, despite my best efforts, Clueless won me over. For those of you who are watching this against your will, think of this movie as a time capsule. Who needs a TARDIS to go back to 1995 where you can just watch this movie? The things that got me chuckling was the tech. Standouts were the touchscreen computers with graphics from Windows 95, the bricks disguised as cell phones, and the pagers. Pagers. The fashion was a bit out there, too. You could tell this was in the era when Kurt Cobain hit it big, as was the language, too. I'm surprised this didn't come with a translation guide. And did people actually talk like that? Speaking of talk, how was the story? Well, considering it's based off of Jane Austen's novel Emma, it's off to a good start, but just because you have awesome source material does not mean you're off the hook. I'm looking at you, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but that's for another time. Fortunately, Amy Heckerling has her wits about her writing and directing this. Clueless follows Cher Horowitz, played by 90s teenage boy fantasy Alicia Silverstone. And I can see what all the fuss is about. She's pretty. Right from the get-go, it sets her up as someone who has her life together. For the most part. I'm glad that her father, played by Dan Hedania, had the good sense to buy her a Wrangler instead of a Mercedes 190, considering how much abuse the poor thing takes. Cher's driving style certainly reflects her social position. Very pretty to look at, but has no regard for what's going on around her. Oh, sure, she may do things to help out newcomer Ty, played by Brittany Murphy, or hang out with her bestie Dion, played by Stacey Dash. But in the end, she is quite comfortable in her world and the rules that govern it. And what odd rules they are. Cher's solution for getting her grades up is not to study more, but to make the teachers in those classes that she's failing into less of a stick in the mud. Surprisingly, this tactic works. But, as always is the case with any story you encounter, the status quo is shaken up, and our protagonist has to overcome the odds. This is where the movie succeeds in that you're rooting for Cher. Throughout Clueless, you'll find that yes, there is a very preppy shell over Cher, but you find throughout the course of the movie that she's a smart, sweet, and thoughtful person, and you can't help but say, "Go, Cher, go!" This also sums up the movie rather well. You get past the bubblegum exterior, the 90s slang, and the very dated, but still awesome soundtrack, "Rollin' with my homies." I'll stop. You'll find an entertaining movie with a valuable lesson. Now, does this mean I'm gonna go out and buy the DVD? Probably not. Would I object if a friend picked it out to watch? No. I say go and watch the film. If you dismiss it purely by the box art, well, you are clueless.